Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon. I should be raising my child, but breaking NFL news is more important, Perna. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys finally inked a massive $126 million 4-year deal, so let's check in on Scooter Magruder's Twitter real quick. Looks like he approves. He has proclaimed they will win the Super Bowl, and his gif with Dak is probably one of the best NFL gifs out there. So congrats, Scooter. Also, Scooter dominates the GIF game so hard that if you search for Jason Garrett, Scooter is half of the GIFs on the screen. Now, I'm not sure why Jerry Jones had an easier time giving Jason Garrett an extension than he did Dak. Well, maybe it's because no matter what you do, Jason always seems so appreciative. Did Dallas overpay for Dak?
The price is wrong, bitch.
Or...
Oh, one of you is exactly right.
We'll discuss today on That's Good Sports. If I could trouble you for a subscription, it's free, won't cost you $160 million, and you'll get NFL videos from me. The YouTube's best NFL jackass. Also, a big shout out to @SamuelB.Parker90 for making this sick design for my coffee company, Benchwarmer Brew. That's right, my coffee company, BenchwarmerBrew.com is where you can get really good coffee. It's so good that we've already had our first recall in just a few months. Just kidding, but if you did order the Big Boss mug, hand wash these, hand wash only. They're supposed to be dishwasher safe, but guess what? They're not. I mean, Big Boss will stay on there forever. That's got a half-life of 1,000 years. But my logo? That might come off in the dishwasher is what we're learning. We've changed the info on the website, hand wash only. So if you had the balls to buy one and that happened, just shoot us a DM @BenchwarmerBrew or info@benchwarmerbrew.com. Time for business. Now today is a very special 2-upload day. I dropped a bangin' Gardner Minshew video earlier, and by bangin', I mean by the end of the video, you will be convinced it is your civic duty to bang him. While that upload was completing, this Dak Prescott news dropped because the NFL has a deep-rooted hatred for my free time. Regardless, let's jump into this headfirst like a bag of cocaine in the Cowboys in the early 90s. Jerry Jones was quoted after the signing today saying, "I told Dak I'll stop breaking your balls about money. Money I clearly have. If you stop breaking your damn legs." Don't know how that helped get a deal done, but it did. Now Dak finally gets a contract. And as a Broncos fan, I can take one more dream QB off my immediate wish list. Jerry Jones managed to overpay for Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper, and then pay maybe exactly the right price for Dak. Soon, they can hand out contracts to every single offensive player and be the first team to start all undrafted players on defense. It's a horrific strategy for trying to win, but if they're trying to channel the energy of that 51-48 game back in 2013 between Romo and Manning, well, they are well on their way. Now, per Ian Rappaport, the deal is 4 years, $160 million, up to $164 million. Dak gets a no-trade clause and a no-tag provision. The guarantee is $126 million. Massive. Massive is Ian Rappaport's word. I forgot that was in the tweet. Anyway, the signing bonus is $66 million, which is the largest in NFL history, beating out Russell Wilson by $1 million. And I'm sure Russell feels good about that. Through the first 3 years, Dak will average about $42 million per season. That's going to make him the highest paid player in 2021, beating out Matty Ice, who's set to make $41 million next season. Which is interesting because he too is a very good quarterback who will catch way more shit than he deserves for having a losing team around him. Now, Dak will still be averaging more money than Patrick Mahomes per season the next 3 years, but that's the perk of having a 4-year deal rather than a 10-year deal. Here's where everyone, though, is wrong. The Cowboys still have $25 million in cap space even after this extension because they are already planning to pay Dak a fuck ton of money this year. And they have more cap space available in 2022, so they are not in cap hell and are in a better spending position right now than 17 other teams in the league. Again, they just don't know how to spend that money on defense. That said, I'd rather have a top 10 quarterback every season and try to figure out the defense. I've spent the last 5 years watching the Broncos, who have had a quietly good defense, and it sucks because they don't have a quarterback. Defenses can improve quickly and decline quickly, but great quarterback play is hard to replace, but once you find it, it usually lasts for a while. Again, you can lose games in the NFL even with a good quarterback. The idea that a big contract should guarantee your team a Super Bowl is a fallacy and unrealistic. Now, I'm really looking forward to 4 years from now when the Cowboys are once again lukewarm on extending Dak, leading to a franchise tag, and we all get to hear about this for another 18 months. An even more decrepit Jerry Jones will have gotten so rich after the latest natural disaster that he opens up his snakeskin wallet, breaks him off a $200 million bill, and promptly melts into a puddle of thick black oil like the T-1000 in Terminator 2. Everyone likes to talk about Tom Brady not aging, but Jerry Jones is actually 700 years old and will be a formidable villain in season 2 of WandaVision. Now, I can't wait to watch Twitter when Dak gets a $250 million extension for his next deal, which is the exact cost of a Jerry Jones yacht. Like Jerry, though, I too would be concerned about spending $250 million on anything I can't have an orgy on. Although, a guy my size with a few small women could comfortably have an orgy on that sturdy Dak Prescott frame. Now, before Dak broke his ankle in terrifying fashion last season, he was coming off a career year where he threw 30 touchdowns and 4,900 yards, which was second only to Jameis Winston. Of course, Dak didn't need 30 interceptions to do it, just 11. It is, however, a little bit of a conundrum that the year Dak had his breakout season, the Cowboys regressed and missed the playoffs after winning a playoff game the year before. That 2019 team was 6th best in scoring offense and 11th best in scoring defense, which tells me that they sucked ass in close games. And looking at the results, that was the case, because 6 of their 8 losses in 2019 were within a single score. But now that Dak is healthy, does this team have the ability to simply learn how to finish off games and become an NFC contender once again? Mike McCarthy tells me no. I'm not convinced the team around Dak has gotten any better, and in a lot of cases, they're probably getting worse. The offensive line was one of the best in 2016, which allowed Dak to have so much success as a rookie that Jerry Jones forced Tony Romo to the same fate as Troy Aikman in the broadcast booth. As soon as Jerry saw Dak Prescott throw 14 more touchdowns and 14 fewer picks than Troy Aikman did as a rookie, he knew he had his man. His man he'd try to stiff later. Dak came into a great situation. Strong line, great running game, decent defense, all of the things every rookie quarterback really needs for instant success. But Dak has also grown as a quarterback, getting better year to year, and was in fact carrying that terrible team before his injury in 2020. Or maybe Cowboys fans want another round of Ben DiNucci and Andy Dalton. Ben DiNucci, anybody? Ben DiNucci? The big question is, did Jerry Jones and the Cowboys overpay for Dak Prescott? Will they regret this contract much like all of the teams did in my worst quarterback contracts video I uploaded Sunday? Short answer, no. Long answer, only if the injury Dak suffered affects his play, either mentally or physically or some combination of both, that cause him to play like Ben DiNucci or Andy Dalton. And I'm talking 8-8 Andy Dalton, not one and done in the playoffs Andy Dalton. Every player will respond to a horrific injury differently. Your body is an unpredictable beast, and there's just a chance that Dak's ankle never lets him feel comfortable on the field again. That's the only way I see this as being a bad deal for Dallas. He'd really need to pull a regression like a Wentz to make this thing look like a stinker. And I don't see that happening because from a mental standpoint, Dak's a solid guy. As solid of a guy as you can ask for. The good news is, if Dak does need time to get comfortable slinging the rock again, he'll have plenty of time to do that playing in the NFC East, which is like having 6 preseason games in 2021. Now, there's really no such thing anymore as overpaying for a franchise quarterback, which Dak is. Dak got paid what quarterbacks cost. This is the biggest non-story I have ever made a video about. Adam Rank said it best on Twitter. As a Bears fan, I look forward to the day where the debate is whether we overpaid our franchise quarterback and not how many draft picks are we willing to give up for one. So yeah, the Cowboys paid their quarterback appropriately. There are 3 types of people who believe Dak got overpaid. The people who are the most upset, the most pissed, the most certain that Dak was given too much money, well, those are the racists. The racists are really upset about this contract. The second group of angry people are those who just don't understand how money works in the NFL. And that's complicated. I don't fault you. I still barely know after talking about this shit every year for the last 4, 5, 6 years. And finally, the third group of people who think this is a bad contract are wishful thinking Eagles and Giants fans. Boom, thanks for watching That's Good Sports Double Feature Monday. Dak Prescott's contract, and if you want to watch the Gardner Minshew, Trevor Lawrence video, it's on the screen right now. Click it, click it, click it.